everyone, welcome to Aftermath Digital TV. Caroline here with the boys. I've got Nug, Jimmy, Anthony, Corelli, and we've got our wins and fails ready for you from the past week. Everything that was WWE, so it could be SmackDown, Raw, NXT, whatever you want. And Jimmy, you're going to start us off.
Oh, me. You know what I'm liking? I'm really enjoying this tournament for the Intercontinental Championship for a few reasons. It seems to matter. The superstars care about winning this championship. This championship has kind of been, I hate to put it this way, but it's kind of been on the back burner for a little while now. The Intercontinental Championship used to be prestigious, the number 2 title behind the World Heavyweight Championship in the WWE. It kind of has taken a backseat to maybe the U.S. title. Maybe it's lost a little bit of importance, but you're looking at the superstars really wanting to fight for this thing. And yes, there's a little twists and turns going on and stuff like that, but still, it matters. And if it matters to the superstars, then it matters to me.
Yeah, peaks and valleys, you know, the Intercontinental Championship, sometimes it seems more prestigious and more in the spotlight, and sometimes it fades away. But immediately when you have a tournament, like you said, now it means something. Sometimes on any of the brands, we have just a match. And I get it, there's an underlying storyline of each person wants to win, but that's not really conveyed successfully, I believe. So to have an actual meaningful win, it's refreshing, absolutely.
People want to win a wrestling match. Isn't that refreshing? Also, that they had a battle royal that had everybody in it that wanted to be in the tournament. It's not that only the guys in the tournament want to win the title. Guys not in the tournament want to win the title. They just watched Apollo Crews win the U.S. title on Raw. I could be that story on SmackDown. Why don't I get in this tournament? Also, had big props to the Battle Royal for starting some new stories. There's nothing like an awesome Battle Royal to get some mix up the talent and see who wants to fight each other after that. I'm loving that tournament.
Yeah, Battle Royal is just perfect for planting seeds.
Yes.
Nug, I have to say I love your backdrop. You look like you have horns.
I'm performing. I'm performing now.
Nice horns. You know?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
angel horns.
Horns.
Angel horns.
I love that.
Jesus.
Okay, Nug, since we have you talking, what's your win?
You know what? It was, like I said, it's refreshing to see people want to win a wrestling match. And it wasn't the greatest wrestling match of all time because that hasn't happened yet. But
it's coming up though.
Apparently, but I really liked Lacey versus Sonya on SmackDown for a bunch of reasons. 1, Sonya wasn't fighting Mandy. 2, Lacey wasn't fighting Sasha. And 3, they both looked like they wanted to win a wrestling match. And it ended without 19 people interfering or walking down the aisle or playing music and distracting people. And there was this nice moment where Lacey does the classic thing where she pulls out her little sweat rag and does it and throws it at Sonya, and Sonya knocked her on her butt. That's Sonya Deville, man. She's a UFC type person. And they just fought each other and they both wanted to win a match. And in the women's division, which is full of, you're just jealous and I've got something you don't, and all this catty stuff, it was nice to see 2 women fight.
Yeah, it was interesting because the way they measure up, when you look at their height and their stature and their just general athleticism, I didn't kind of think about it before, but when I saw them that they were going to wrestle, I'm like, oh wow, this is actually going to be pretty good. Both very capable and they have excellent offense. So wicked match.
No, it was a great match. And I also like the fact that other than outside the women's title storylines that are going on, there's women competing, and it's showing the diversity and the depth of the women's division. It is there. It's just we're not getting to see it as much as we like. And, we say, well, they've got 3 hours on Monday night to show off and 2 hours on Friday night. And then we've got NXT. It almost feels like with the amount of talent they have, there's still not enough time to showcase how good the women's division is. And we got a little taste of that with that match.
I just love Sonya Deville right now. I've always loved her, but she's hot right now, just on the mic, in the ring, and her promos, everything. She's you know what I mean? She's coming out hot.
It's great because she's no nonsense. If anybody saw even half an episode of Total Divas this last season, there's all the, who's doing what to who and gossipy stuff. And Sonya Deville's just kind of a constant in that show and just shut up. Who cares? This is nothing. She's just perfect.
Wouldn't you want to be friends with someone like that?
100%. I don't care how mean she is. If she's mean and she's on my side, I'm all for it.
Well, no drama zone. I like the no drama.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, AC, your win.
My win, it was pretty generic. I thought other people were going to mention it, but yeah, Aleister Black and Seth Rollins, just tremendous match. I had a lot of time, you know, and it's kind of like Seth Rollins by no stretch of the imagination. He's not old, but he's the veteran here. And Aleister Black, I mean, obviously they've crossed paths in the past. Seth Rollins got here first. But Aleister Black is undeniable. The momentum behind him, there was something special from day one, and he's now cemented himself as a top guy. So it's just nice to see two top guys go mano a mano and get at it. And I think they held it down, and I think Aleister Black really, there's bigger stuff coming for him. That's for sure.
What I liked about it is we talk about different styles and the evolution of the industry and everybody trying to outdo each other. But at the basic core of what sports entertainment / pro wrestling is storytelling, getting your audience invested. Ebbs, like you said, AC, ebbs and flows, and using a little bit of psychology to get your audience invested. And these two guys did that. And don't get me wrong, these guys they can do every maneuver in the book. It's just that they know when to insert certain things, and I think they did it very well.
What I really liked about it is Aleister Black has, quietly been rising this whole time. He's been on the main roster. When he came in, he was in the tag team with Ricochet, and then he went away for a bit and talked in a closet for 6 months. And then he's slowly been on his way up. But that match against Seth showed that he can hang with one of the top superstars in the company, that he can do what those guys do. And if he's not one of the top guys in 6-7 months, I'll be totally shocked.
I think this was kind of like a I think he arrived last night, you know. Really, I would consider him a top guy, if not very, very soon. But it's funny, the juxtaposition between he's supposed to be that dark satanic guy and the Messiah is, you know, and the roles are reversed, where this guy, the Messiah, is the bad guy, and the dark underlord whatever guy is like the good guy here.
This should be taking place in Toronto then, Bizarro World, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you guys. Okay, so my win, I was told that you guys are all gonna hate.
Do you care if I mute you?
Yes, please, because I'm nervous. Because sometimes when I say stuff on Aftermath, it's crickets, and you guys are like, we don't agree.
Oh, I wish. If we could figure out a way to play cricket noises over this.
I personally, yeah, seriously, we'll do that in editing. I personally,
everybody, all of us, just stay quiet for 2 seconds, and they can put in crickets in post.
I don't hate the promos that WWE is doing lately and the segments. Like, I know that, you know, Nug didn't like the Viking Raiders and Street Profits basketball game, but I didn't mind the bowling.
Oh my God.
Because I love bowling. So I was just like when I saw the Street Profits, like, you know, hit the gutter all the time, I'm like, that's typically me. I always tack a big bowling game, and then the next thing you know, I got a gutter ball every single time. So I don't know. I just was like laughing a little. So that's my measure, Jimmy. That's just like that's how I know whether or not I like something or not. Because I don't just laugh all the time by myself. Also, the Mandy and Otis started funny for me. The way it ended was a little much. But
no, it wasn't much. No. Sorry, no.
I didn't like. I love Mandy and Otis so much, and I like the storyline. So, you know, I thought it was actually really funny until, like, I think everything about Otis is great and Mandy too. So I thought it started off funny, but towards the end it was a little much. And the 24/7 championship too, like that little promo with R-Truth and Gronk. I think Gronk did a really, really good job. And you guys know how I feel about him. I could watch him all day with his TikTok dances and just how he says things and his mannerisms. So really, the promos and the segments, they make me laugh. So to me, that's like the entertainment side of WWE. So I can't say I hate it, but now I'm just nervous that I should have totally changed my win last second.
No, not at all.
Nope. Okay, I'm just going to say this. 2 out of 3 I'm cool with. I didn't mind you know, the Mandy and Otis thing, because it was a flashback for me last times at Ridgemount High.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, anybody who's old enough to remember that movie.
That's an awesome movie.
Yeah. maybe a little bit politically incorrect for today's world, but it was fun back in the day, and that was a bit so I like that little flashback there. My issue, I don't want to get into my fail yet, but I do have an issue with the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders, and I will get into that in a little bit.
I don't have a problem with you want to do segments, that's fine. But as somebody who works in the world of comedy, what you've decided comedy is and what I think comedy is are very different things.
Yeah,
that makes me feel bad.
Oh, I'm not. They mean you, Caroline. I was talking about the shows.
I know. I'm just thinking like here I am, kind of chuckling, and I'm like maybe I don't.
Hey, don't get me wrong. When
I don't know good comedy.
when the one guy from the Street Profits wanted to fight a horse last week, I laughed because he was like, "What do you think about that horse?" I thought that was funny. So,
because the horse can't answer back.
Even a blind horse
that we know of. That we know of.
Yeah, you know, I mean, hey, if someone says, here, be funny, right? Write something funny. The show's been on for so long with no off season, no break. I guess they ran out of funny. But on the other hand, it's like they're sticking with it.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're sticking with it, it's something like, okay, let's see another episode of this again. And if they abandoned it, it would have went down as just, garbage, but you might as well go with it now. Do something else next week.
I like that Anthony's silver lining is it's garbage, but it's consistent garbage.
I appreciate it. Yeah. All right, Jimmy, your fail, because I know that it has to do with my win.
No, just the 1/3 of the win. It's the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. Yes, for the last couple of weeks, we've been having these interactions between the two. Last week we got to see the Street Profits in the ring actually wrestling, and I enjoyed it because they are very good. But then we go back to what we got on Monday night, and it's like this decathlon of outside the ring. I get it. It's entertainment. We want different forms of entertainment. We're thinking outside the box. We're trying different things. But Arthur Fonzarelli called. He's already jumped the shark. Let's move on.
Oh, 100%. That segment jumped the shark. And it's like literally it came on last night. My wife was marking papers for school and she looked up and went, "What the hell? Are they not done with this?" Like she just couldn't handle it. It's gone on too long. We get it. Even if it's a best of 5, I really don't want to find out it's a best of 17. I just want it to be done. Tied or somebody wins or whatever, and these titles aren't on the line in these dumb competitions, who cares? Get in the ring.
I feel like your wife's perception is pure and innocent.
Oh, 100%.
All right, Nug, your fail.
Okay, I'm gonna get my microphone out here because this is a secret. This is a secret between all of us here.
Oh, I was gonna text you about your microphone after.
Here we go. Can you guys hear me? This is a secret. Yeah. Did you guys know that fat people are different and should be laughed at all the time?
What?
Did you guys know that fat people look different than everybody else and are a source of comedy for everyone who's thin and muscular?
Did you guys know that Otis is fat? Did you guys know that the Viking Raiders, one of them is fat and he eats turkey legs and magically finds them everywhere? In a world where different is supposed to be funny and different gets punished online all over the place, why are we making fun of fat people? Read the room. Sorry.
No.
Not funny.
It's cool. No, I get it. No, I don't disagree with that. It's just that that's for some strange reason you look through the history of professional wrestling.
Oh, 100%.
Hey, the one guy that kind of broke the mold a little bit, I would say, was probably maybe like a Bam Bam Bigelow. Yep. But you get a guy like a King Kong Bundy. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of instances, but for the most part, then you get a Kamala.
Well, and you had a one-man gang, but then you get Akeem.
Yes. So, yeah. So
Haystacks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
There's always been there's an association with big, and whether it be big and fat, but with strong. Bluto didn't have a tiny waist in Popeye, and just general massive guys. David and Goliath, and sometimes Goliath is going to be fat and he'll kill you. So there's always been big, heavy people in professional wrestling, and there always will be. To ridicule someone at a personal level because of their weight, that's not good. Especially because it's like making fun of someone for being unhealthy. You know,
Yeah.
like, what do you have, pneumonia, loser? Like, you can't be doing that kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, it's not very funny.
Not cool.
Definitely not at all. Okay, AC, your fail.
My fail. I got my hopes up when Apollo Crews called out Kevin Owens. I thought, oh man, like, I actually got comfortable. This is gonna be great. I love Kevin Owens. I see they're just similar in size, and they can both do impressive things. And I just didn't get that finish. I didn't get that. It turned into a tag match and stuff, and whatever they were tagging. But I just really wanted to see who's currently better between those two, and I got robbed.
It was such a fun match to watch, and yes, it was ruined by Andrade, and Angel Garza, and yes, we hate them for it. But you can make a list of all the matches that get interrupted and have no finishes. You check it out. Like next Monday, play a little game. Every time there's a match that doesn't finish, put a little check mark on the page, and we'll see how many check marks we get by the end of the night. I bet you it's more than 2.
That's the only issue I have with it. It happens far too often because I don't have a problem, especially in this situation where Apollo Crews versus Kevin Owens didn't have a clean finish to the match, but it led to a tag team match. And it kind of gave Apollo a little bit of a rub because he was able to hang with a former world champion in Kevin Owens. And then he got to team with it, and he got that I don't want to say guilty by association, but that rub by association by teaming with Kevin Owens. So I'm okay with it in certain situations, but like you said, Nug, I think it's happening a little too often.
If there's going to be a tag team match and somebody doesn't come out and say playa at the end of it, I'm not interested.
Yeah. Hey, there also should be some ramifications of interrupting matches. If the governing body, like, WWE is a legitimate arena of competition, like obviously you can't touch an official. You should be disqualified, kicked out, fined. They should make it public. They should make.
Why didn't you tell them that years ago when I was still there?
Anyway. And if you interfere with matches, there should be ramifications. You can't
consequences and reasons, baby.
Maybe that's the genesis for bringing back a general manager, someone in charge, a commissioner. We've got the plexiglass up. Maybe we could build a penalty box.
Well, this is true. And also, don't forget, Adam Pearce is back there in his 2 big jackets. He's showing up every now and then in his ill-fitting suit and looking like he's general manager. He wore a purple jacket on Friday night, so I guess he wants to stand out.
But he can handle himself, though. He's a big dude.
Absolutely could.
He can handle himself.
Okay, so my fail, I know part of my win was the Gronk promo. Cash, he agrees with me.
He agrees.
For the 24/7 championship. Sorry, guys. Cash. Sorry. And I loved the promo. You guys know how much I love Gronk, but I'm like, I just wish there was a little bit more football incorporated into it. Maybe it wasn't possible, but I just wish that there was an opportunity, as you guys know.
Come on, it had the 2 things kids love, TikTok and gardening.
I just wanted Tom Brady somehow in that picture. I was holding on to my dreams over there, and the TikTok was great. I thought that was hilarious, and actually Gronk does a lot of TikTok, so I thought he was so funny. But I'm also sad because I feel like now Gronk's out of the WWE picture. And I think it was fun while it lasted, but it brings me joy. So
yeah,
I'm sad.
Polish. She's Polish, obviously.
Of course, we all stick together.
Yeah. Well, his cameraman buddy / referee, his comment was kind of a little shot at wrestling when the guys like, look, you got football to focus on, like, forget this nonsense kind of thing, right? And I'm like, whoa, hey, take it easy. Yeah, you got wrestling, but just discard it because you have real sports now,
Yeah, fun's fun, but let's play football now.
Yeah, it would have been a nice opportunity to mesh 2 worlds together,
Yes.
but I guess one of the worlds is not too keen on meshing with the other world. So
especially when we have a rich history of football players that became professional wrestlers.
One of the greatest ever, Ernie the Cat Ladd. I mean, like you can go down the list and former NFLers that have.
What was that? There's a team. Well, even Mike Rotundo was, like I said, roommates with Gronk's dad because they both played football for Syracuse University. There was one team. Was it a high school team? God, the amount of guys in this team that were professional wrestlers somewhere in Texas. It was crazy.
All of them ended up being – well, even think about that high school football team in Minnesota that ended up being like Rick Rude and the Road Warriors and Barry Darso. All those guys all knew each other from high school football.
Yeah.
No way. That's awesome.
I'd hate to play against those guys.
Guys, those are our wins and fails. We want to hear from you, so you can tweet at us, use the hashtag AskAftermath, or join us every single Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Sportsnet Facebook and YouTube, where we'll be talking live about, honestly, everything we want to talk about, your fan questions and comments. So join us either way, and keep an eye on YouTube, because Sportsnet pumps out a lot of content that we do. So thanks for watching. Hopefully we see you on Friday, and stay healthy. Bye.